Hello, Palak. Welcome to Brew Your Market Podcast. I'm glad you could make time and you're here today.
Hey Rakshit, hi. Oh my God. Hi Rakshit,
That's
hi.
all right.
It's a pleasure to be here and thank you so much for inviting me. I mean, अगर LinkedIn Creator Manager अगर मुझे बुला रहा है तो I'm definitely going to be there anywhere.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you could come
Yeah.
here. And you're a top voice now. Congratulations on that. We were just having a chat about it.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. Again, you had a role in that. So yeah,
Nothing,
thanks
it
a
is
lot.
well deserved. Like it is easy. I mean, I just had to like nominate you and you were there. So it is like a no-brainer that way.
That's very sweet of you, Rakshit.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So, I mean, let's talk about like, I mean, I'm excited to talk to you about the topic today. We're going to talk about content and what you're doing. But before we delve into all that, why don't you tell the viewers who you are? I mean, I'm sure a lot of people already know that, but and what your journey is.
Sure, sure. Hi, everyone. So I am Palak. I am a chartered accountant. I qualified last year. And I am a content creator creating content on business and finance. I'm active on LinkedIn and Instagram. And I am the founder of CreateX, where we basically upskill content creators, aspiring content creators, and building a community of creators. So, yeah, to just summarize, a CA, a content creator, and CreateX. Yeah.
Perfect. How did your journey into content creation begin? Like, I mean, how did that even start?
So yeah, that's a very interesting story actually. I was creating content in bits and pieces during my CA finals prep, जो studies का time होता है उस time
Mhm.
पर. In I think last February, I just started creating content. A friend reached out to me. He was running this news app, news page. So
Mhm.
he asked me, why don't you create short video content since you have been always so inclined towards elocution, debates, and everything.
Huh.
And since I love to stay updated and sharing things with
Mhm.
people whatever I know, so I thought, yeah, why not give this a shot. And I used to like look at content creation as something just to take break from my studies. So
Mhm.
CA final ki padhai thi, and I was like, okay, let's do this as a refreshment sort of thing, because it will help me reconnect with elocution in some sense. So I thought, okay, let's do it. And then that's how I started creating content for his page. That
Uh-huh.
was a news page.
Mhm.
And yeah, I mean, that's how it started. I was creating what I think 4 to 5 videos monthly.
Okay.
Utna hi I
Nice.
mean, utni hi frequency rehti thi.
Huh.
Because I was, also studying for CA finals.
Uh,
So just to start with, that was the frequency. And then I sort of stopped because my exams were
uh,
in May. And then I again came back to content creation during the vacation period. I mean, before the results and after the exams was a period. So I thought,
mm,
"Ki, let's utilize this period and again start actively creating content." And that's when the LinkedIn Creator Accelerator program also happened.
mm,
So it, sort of gave me a really big push
uh,
into being active as a creator on LinkedIn. And then I was, since I was creating videos for the news page, so my Instagram पे भी active हो गई. And धीरे
uh,
धीरे both the platforms were receiving good traction,
yeah.
luckily. So yeah, that's how I sort of entered into this space. And all of these things were like a direction, like signs from the universe. Ki, okay, you can do good as a creator, so why
Um,
not just enter into this full time? So that's how it happened.
how did that happen though? Like, I mean, you're doing CA, you finished that, and then like you
Yeah.
chose to go into content creation full time. Like, I mean, how did that even happen?
Yeah, so it was a tough decision, honestly,
Mhm.
because after I cleared my CA, I had this option ki whether I want to do a job or whether I want to pursue content creation, let's say a full time. So there were multiple reasons. Firstly, like I said, my account was seeing good traction, so that was number one reason that I thought ki okay, now that the account is getting good traction, then this may be the best time to give this full shot
Yeah.
properly.
Mhm.
And apart from that, I am from Surat. So there is this sort of restriction here in my family कि I was not allowed to, go out and do
Uh,
a job.
mm,
तो मेरे को ऐसा था कि there are not enough opportunities here, like big MNCs here.
mm,
And I was, hoping to work for an MNC if at all I wanted to go into the corporate world.
mhm,
So that was another reason कि मेरे को था कि अगर बाहर नहीं जा सकते तो if I have to stay here and do something, then why not give content creation only a
mhm.
shot? And I did it.
I'm
So
glad. I'm
yeah,
glad that everything fell into place in
yeah,
some form or
exactly.
another. You
वही
had
मैं
your
बोल रही
window.
हूँ.
You had your this
Yeah.
vacation wala window. Create Accelerator program happened, and
Yes, yes,
then
yes.
everything took off, and then you were like, "अच्छा बाहर नहीं जा सकती तो यहाँ पे content creation and हो गया."
Well, it's like destiny, in some sense.
In some sense. So, I mean,
Yeah.
like, talk to me about your creative process. Like, how do you create content, and how do you come up with ideas, research? Because I see you go through a lot of things, like in that train wala video, rail wala video. There's
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
much research and everything that goes on. Like, what's your process like?
So, like the train wala video, so usme like I already knew कि since I'm going to travel, so I can leverage that कि मैं अगर train में जा रही हूँ तो क्या मैं ऐसे content pieces I can pick जो मैं let's say
Mm,
train में shoot कर सकती हूँ. So
mm,
that's how I came up with like how does IRCTC make money, or I mean you can use air tags so that your luggage doesn't get lost. So
mm,
I came up with, so before I'm going anywhere I think how can I, make the most out of it for my content anywhere I'm
okay.
traveling. So
Nice.
I think that really helps. And I was traveling recently to a hotel, not recently, some time back. And then I thought, okay, यहाँ पे कैसे कर सकते? So I came up with a
Okay.
video कि what makes a hotel 5-star hotel. And then
Mm,
since I was in the hotel, so I got really good shots there.
mhm,
So yeah, I mean, I try whatever, I mean, wherever I'm going, if there is any scope of converting that into content creation. And I
mhm,
think this was one of the most amazing advices that I received in the recap program from one of the alumni. That
mhm,
he said, "Ki make content creation an integration in your life and not an
mhm,
interruption in your life."
yeah,
So I mean, live by those words. That it really makes it easier for me as
exactly.
a creator, and even people like watching those videos more कि यहाँ पे actually वो चीजें हो रही है,
हाँ,
मतलब दिख रहा है. So
mm.
yeah, I mean that really helps. That one piece of
Yeah,
advice.
I love that. Like, make content creation an integration of your life and not an interruption.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Perfect.
yeah.
Yeah. And how do you, so, and also, like, since there are so many other creators doing similar stuff, Ajkal, how do you differentiate
Hmm.
yourself? Like, how do you make sure that there is a USP for Palak Rathi?
So honestly, I just try to be as natural, I mean, as I can. Like whenever I write a script,
Mm,
I just read it 2-3 times, and मैं वो introspect करती हूँ कि if
हाँ,
I were, let's say, watching this or listening to this, would
mhm,
I have liked it? Would I
mhm,
have stayed after, let's say, the first 5 seconds? Would I have
mm,
wanted to know more about it?
yeah.
What can I improve? So that is like a process कि मैं एक बार script लिख दूँ and then I just spend good amount of time on that script just to make sure कि if I were in the shoes of a viewer, then what would my reaction to that
Mm,
video would be, if I would have liked it or not. And I think I
mm.
just follow that. So
I love that because
that
that's
answers your
something that
question.
yeah, no, yeah, that's something that my previous employer also, like my manager used to tell me, like, always think from the audience perspective, right?
Yeah,
Put yourself in that audience person's shoes and see, like, will you want to watch it? Will they like it? And things like that.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And,
definitely.
and you also mentioned like about like your script and everything. How do you do that? Like, what goes into storytelling? Because like there's a lot of storytelling involved in your videos and everything. Like, how do you make sure that that's perfect?
So, what I do is that once I finalize a topic, I basically, let's say if this is a finance topic, for
Mhm.
example, then I read up some articles about it, and then I, sort of pick the information that I'm finding relevant in the notes, and then I sort of uh, play pressy writing. I mean, जो English के exams में हम खेलते थे, that you have like a big paragraph, and then you have to summarize it
हाँ,
into 45 seconds.
हाँ,
45 seconds to 1 minute. So that's what I also do, that I
हाँ,
collect information or any information that I have in mind कि इस तरीके से इसको start कर सकते हैं, let's say, और इस तरीके से end कर सकते हैं. So I collect everything on one page, and then I sort of start playing the game. कि now
हम्म,
I have to cut short it down so that it basically fits into 45 seconds to 1 minute. Like I try this, and this is like a rule for me कि, don't make your videos like longer than say 1 minute
हम्म,
or 45 seconds, until unless it's a conversational video.
वही,
Because usually when it's a conversational video, so I have observed that people tend to watch it for a longer time because it
हाँ,
looks like a short movie.
हम्म,
Things are changing, characters are changing, so uska jo retention power hota है, I think, of viewers, that is comparatively higher. So yeah, what I do is I write a script and then I start the timer on my phone. and then I see कि कितना जा रहा है. Let's say if it's 1 minute 30 seconds, then I'll be like, no, this is not done. I'll have to play that game again. I'll have to cut short some lines out of it. And then I again start the timer and see कि अब वो सही time में आ रहा है नहीं आ रहा है. So that I follow usually.
Perfect. And so, like that would be some tips that you would also give to other the single creators or like people who are interested.
Definitely. And yeah, apart from that, if I were to talk about tips, I think one of the mistakes sort of that I did was that I used to think too much. I mean, कि मतलब I have to make it एकदम perfect, and मतलब if it's not the best, then I just cannot post. And because of that, what happened, मतलब what used to happen is that um, मतलब एक हफ्ता चला जाता था या 10 दिन चले जाते थे, मैंने कुछ पोस्ट ही नहीं किया. तो मतलब I have had days like that also. So I had a content piece, but because I used to become so, I don't know, judgmental for my own content, and I was like नहीं नहीं इसमें मजा नहीं आ रहा, and just I used to overthink a lot before posting. So I would just advise people कि don't do that. I mean, try to, I mean, I'm not saying कि don't try to make it good, but don't overthink it before posting. I mean, थोड़ा सा वो quantity जाएगा तो it's good.
So then how do you make sure that ये cadence बना रहे? Like, because like that's a problem that a lot of creators also face. Like, how do you make sure that you're regularly posting and stuff, right? So what do you do to make sure the cadence and everything?
Yeah, so I think proper planning would help in some sense. And so this is not what I did, but I know a friend who basically before starting content creation, before starting her page, what she did was she already created 15 videos before starting her page. Yeah, so she had like a repository of videos already. So what I mean, this really helped her. She already had content 15 days. So I think she was sorted for a month. And then in that month, she was working on more content. So I think that's a really good way to start. I mean, for anyone who's starting, you can have like a repository of content before starting. So that really helps. And because there have been days where I have sort of struggled in maintaining that consistency. So I mean, if someone starts like that, they will have an upper hand in being consistent, I would say. And apart from that, I think what practice I have started doing is batch writing. That I pick a day in the week, and then I sort of finalize the topics and scripts. एक दिन बैठ के 4 scripts लिख दो for the week, and then you're good to go. So I think that really helps. Instead of एक दिन आया and आपने script लिखा, उसी दिन shoot किया, and then उस दिन आपने post किया, and then next day you're doing it again, or let's say 2 days after you're doing that again. So since this is a creative process, so it's not necessary that जो भी दिन आप pick कर रहे हो उस दिन you will be able to do that only. So हाँ मतलब instead of that, I think picking a day really helps because you are in that zone only, the creative process. So I think it helps कि 4 scripts 3-4 scripts एक साथ लिख दो. So I think that would
how much does analytics weigh in your creative process? Because matlab, like you were saying, your friend made 15 videos because you never know if it'll work or not, right? And then when she's making, and if you are also having like a bank of content, when you make like, videos, like what do you see? What do you look at? What are the metrics that you look at? And how do you structure your next videos based on the analysis? Do you even do that, first of all?
Yeah, actually, I don't really pay that much attention to analyzing the numbers. I mean, when I have posted something, obviously in an hour एक वो sense आता था कि how this video is going to perform. So I think that's that. And maybe if it has not performed well, then maybe I'll just try to think why it didn't perform well. Maybe I could have given it a different start. Maybe the topic was not relevant to the audience, or what can be the reasons? And then I'll just, I mean, that's about it. I mean, I don't really delve so much into the numbers, honestly. So.
So, okay, I mean, now talk to me about CreateX. Like, what is it and what you're doing in that, and like, what's the project about?
Sure. So, CreateX is basically a community for creators. So what we realized is that a lot of people want to create content, right? And in multiple industries. Like you can be a CA, you can be an MBA, you can be a chef, you can be a fitness coach, anything, any industry.
Mm.
There is scope for you to create content, and for multiple reasons. Like people want to create content to build their brand, or maybe
Mm.
to sort of have a passive source of income, or maybe active source of income, or just get good leads for your business or
Mm.
whatever that you have in mind. So everyone can create content in whatever field they are, and we realize this, but people lack the right guidance to start. That
Mm.
content kaise shuru kare, what are the best practices, how do you write a good script, how do you deliver, what are the opportunities, how do you monetize, all these things. So
Mm.
that's where CreateX comes in. It's like a cohort based learning program. We conduct 7 sessions
Mm.
for creators, and we have had, like I said, CAs and chefs and doctors and students, even homemakers, and basically a mix. It's a very diverse set of people who we
Mm.
have, seen coming in and joining CreateX. So we help them with all the process, and then after the cohort ends, it's like a proper community where we're in touch with each other,
Mm.
and basically, giving constant feedback to them, so that content creation can be sometimes a lonely journey. So
Mm.
that's what I felt
Mm.
initially. So because people don't feel that way, I think what we have done is we are sort of trying to build a very strong
Mm.
community even after the cohort ends. So
Mm.
yeah, I mean, to summarize it, it's a community of creators where we just help you in whatever your objective is with creating content.
Mm.
And we have worked with a couple of brands. Our creators are also working with brands creating content for these brands. So yeah, that's how, whatever your purpose is, we just want
Mm.
to help you achieve that with content.
Brilliant. And like, I mean, on that note itself, like I have this question, how hard is it for creators today to break into the content creation space? Because now there are so many creators in
Yeah,
LinkedIn itself, which is, still feel like LinkedIn has not reached the potential yet, but still it's
yeah,
crowded, right? Then imagine YouTube, Instagram, and everything. Like, so
yeah, yeah, yeah.
what are your thoughts on that? And like, how was it when you started, and like, how is it now?
So when I started, I
Mhm.
didn't have in my mind कि I'll do content creation full time, or let's say I'll be helping people create content. Like वैसा कुछ I wouldn't have ever imagined. I just started creating for the love of creating,
Yeah.
and just for the passion that I had for public speaking, like I said, and just staying updated. So that's how I started. So
Mhm.
I didn't really have expectations in
Yeah.
some sense. I just created. So that's I mean that, because that was my reason, it was easier for me,
Huh.
because I didn't have sort of the expectations जो एक creator को होती है. I just created for the love of creating.
Yeah.
So I think that made it easier for me when I started, because there were creators, I mean, a year back also, and I actively started creating content, I think in जुलाई, आई मीन एक्टिवली प्रॉपर, कि
Hmm.
महीने के 12-15 पोस्ट तुम कर रहे हो, तो वैसा एक्टिवली. तो देर वर क्रिएटर्स देन ऑल्सो, बट आई डिडंट रियली पे अटेंशन इतना कि बहुत सारा कंपटीशन है तो कैसे आई स्टैंड आउट. आई जस्ट created. I mean, I don't really have
For the love of creating.
yeah, I mean, I just started doing that, and that's how I did it. And I mean, what you can do is that the competition, the thing that you're talking about, maybe you can look at them as, something to get inspired from. And maybe when I'm looking at someone's content, and I can, learn from it, ki if I would have created content, maybe something like I would have tweaked it a little bit. I didn't like this about it, but let me give it my touch like this. So I
Mhm.
think that can be one way to look at it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, perfect. And like, so you suggest that creators look at, although there are so many creators out there, like look at how you can bring in your authenticity, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And also do
Definitely.
it for the love of creating and not because you want to get some end goal out of it. Uske baad.
Yeah, I think that just makes it easier.
Yeah, yeah, I'm definitely 100%. These two things, if you take care of that, irrespective of what's going on,
Hmm,
you will enjoy the process, right?
definitely. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And just don't get too carried away with numbers. I
Yeah.
mean, don't do that.
End up
It's
doing that, but
very
try to
important.
ignore that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough, but just keep going and try to, see the numbers as less as you can, I think.
So, I mean, and so since you brought up monetization and everything that you help with creators with, like, what how do creators monetize? And do you believe in building follower base first, or building to sell first, like creating to sell? Like what's your this thing and why?
All right. So we actually have a whole session on monetization in
Okay.
CreateX.
Okay, then
So
go to
I'm going to,
CreateX.
yeah. So I'm going to pick bits
Uh,
and pieces from there itself. So I think there are multiple ways for a creator to monetize, and the most obvious one is the brand partnerships that people do, like influencer marketing posts that one can do. But so there is this misconception, I think, that you have to have like lakhs of followers to start monetizing your content. But that's not the case. Like I started monetizing through influencer marketing um, after I hit 100K on Instagram. I didn't do that any influencer marketing post on my profile before that, but I was still monetizing. And how was I doing it? Was by working with brands. So like there are a lot of brands now who are actively looking to have their profile built on social media, like building their own profile. So let's say if there's a fintech company जिन्होंने अपना Instagram page start किया है, then they are looking for creators, like qualified creators basically, who can create content for them. And that's what I did. I worked with a couple of brands. I created content for them. So unke profiles pe jata tha, not on my profile. So that's one way to that creators can monetize. And that's what we are also helping creators do at CreateX too. That once they have, sort of learned content creation and are building content, then they can definitely get into touch with these brands. I mean, we do that. Apart from that, I mean, the best thing with content is that you get a good follower base. I mean, so it sort of really helps you in whatever venture you want to start with. Like, take my example only. Like, I built a good following base on Instagram, and then I started CreateX. So people already, I mean, sort of look at me as a content creator and maybe a good person to learn from, that how content creation, I mean, if someone's looking to enter into this, then maybe she can be a good person to learn from, and because she has done it. So I think that really helps. And I think a lot of creators are doing it. Like once they have built a good number of follower base, it gets it easier for them to, let's say, launch a course, launch a merchandise, or launch, a fashion label or something like that. I mean, there are so many examples. And in different fields, like I know Prajakta Kohli, like she started creating content, comedy content, and then she's now into movies and OTT shows. Right? There's Rachna Ranade started creating content just for the passion of basically making people learn, and she has courses of her own on finance. So there are multiple. I mean, the basically the opportunities are endless once you have sort of built a community for yourself. Then you can do anything. And ये जो आपके followers है, they can give a good kickstart to your business or whatever you are planning to get into. So yeah, and
your end goal? What's your end goal of like creating content?
so I there is okay. So if I ask, let me think about it. Actually, the goal would be like I just want to keep spreading information. I mean, that's what was the reason why I started. That I just want to share whatever knowledge I have with people, and that's what I want to do. That is always the goal. Just keep adding value to whatever time people are spending on looking at your posts, consuming your content. So that is the simple goal that I have, the one which I started with and the one which I want to continue with. And yes, that was on a personal level. And if I talk about CreateX, definitely the goal is to become the strongest creator community that India has. And whenever someone thinks about learning content creation, then CreateX comes to their mind. So yeah.
I love that. I love that. And I hope you reach that goal in both of your ventures, like the personal one and in CreateX.
Thank you so much, Rakshit.
What's one major learning that you've had as a creator? Like, because you've been doing it for a while now, and what's something that you've had and you'd like to share with the viewers?
So I think this is I think thinking among a lot of people that creating content is very easy. But once you actually try it, once you, I mean, switch on your phone and start shooting a video, you realize ki, oh my God, there are a lot of steps into this, and it's
Yeah.
not easy as it, I mean, it's not that easy as it looks. So I
Uh-huh.
think the major learning that I got is that I sort of became very, very appreciative of this entire process. I
Mhm.
mean, someone who's looking at it from the audience perspective, I think उनको वही लगता है even now that it's like हाँ वीडियो ही तो बनाना है,
हाँ,
मतलब उसमें कौन सी बड़ी बात है,
वही,
क्या ही
हाँ.
होता है. But it takes so much of time and it is a full-time job. I mean, people don't realize it, and
हाँ,
maybe even I didn't, because I didn't know what entire process and
yeah,
what all a creator goes through in
totally.
it. So yeah, I mean, the learning is definitely this key. It is a complete job, a complete business where you're creating content. There
Mhm.
are days where you're doing good, there are days where you're not doing good, and
Mhm.
because it is a creative process, you can't really just force yourself कि अच्छा करना ही है, मेरे को करना ही है,
हाँ,
because I have had days जहाँ पे I spent the entire day, 2 days, 3 days, and I couldn't come up with anything,
wow.
any topic, any script, nothing.
Hmm.
So I've just become really, really appreciative of the, I mean, profession in general.
Hmm. I love that. I love that. And like, before we end, I have this one last question. Like, who are your favorite creators right now? And like, what about their content do you like so much?
Sure. So my favorite creator is Atman Desai. So
Okay.
he is like a comedy creator.
Um,
And so I binge watch his videos.
uh-huh.
Matlab, I follow more comedy creators on my personal profile.
Uh-huh.
So anytime I'm feeling low, I mean, I would, see myself going to his profile and just watching his videos. So his username is Atmeen.
Huh.
So he's just very, very funny. And I would just recommend everyone to just go and watch his profile.
Perfect. I'll be the
And
first one then before.
yeah, please do that. Please, you'll love it. You'll definitely hit the follow
Huh.
button. I'm very, very
Huh.
sure.
Okay.
And apart from the, like getting inspiration, I think finance with Sharan. I
Hmm.
mean, he's like the OG creator, and I
Hmm.
just love the way he story tells. I
Hmm.
mean,
Hmm.
where he'll just have like proper, 20-30 seconds make कुछ funny सा story होगा, very relatable story. People
Hmm.
would want to watch it, what is coming next, what is coming next.
Huh.
And I think in some sense I have also learned from his videos to sort of incorporate those things in the conversational videos that I am also doing, like having a proper story in the beginning
Uh-huh.
that can,
The hook,
capture the attention
right?
of people, that
Yeah.
is very relatable. And then
Hmm.
you sort of add the finance topic or whatever topic
Hmm.
there is
Hmm.
to them. I mean, so that's like I have learned from him. So he is like one of the creators that I look up to.
I love that. Like you always have to have a hook. That's something like irrespective
Yeah.
of what type of content you're creating, text,
Yeah,
video, whatever, a hook is necessary to grab people's attention.
definitely.
Yeah. Amazing. Now, before we end, I usually play this game called Rapid Brew, wherein I shuffle a few cards, and whatever question comes
Okay.
up, you have to answer in in 12 seconds or less. No need 5 seconds. So
Okay.
yeah. So the first question is, what's one trend that you hope never comes back?
What's one trend that I hope never comes back? So
Yep.
I haven't really done any trending videos, yaar. I
Maybe
mean,
something that you watched and you were like, yeah, this should never come back.
let me think about it. Oh my God, this is tough. Um,
I don't want to put a countdown timer, but
this is tough. Trending. Like it has to be like Instagram trend of
anything,
sorts.
anything, any trend.
Any trend. Okay,
Like
give
you
me.
remember the ice bucket challenge, or type ka, or something else like that, like old ones, new ones, whatever.
Okay. Oh my God, I'm not able to think of any trend that I didn't like. I
I'm
think I
sorry to
just
put you on the
like
spot.
like I said, I've just become really appreciative of all the content, so that's why I'm not able to answer this.
Okay, next question then. Okay, very easy. What's your favorite day of the week and why?
What's the favorite day of my?
What's your favorite day of the week and why?
Okay, so my favorite day has to be Saturday
Uh-huh.
because usually it's like a chill day, and that's when I sort of sit with the scripts, like I said, जो
Uh-huh.
एक part में वो दे देती हूँ scripts को, and then I sort of have the whole day to myself, sort of
Mhm.
relax.
Mhm.
So that's why I think I love Saturdays. Look forward to Saturdays. Yeah.
Next, oh wait, not this one. Next, what's one of your special talents?
One of my special talents.
Yes.
I think special talent, I say like public speaking, because of public speaking I am what I am today. So I think, yeah, public speaking would be it. And because I have, been like a participant in elocution competitions right from second standard. I mean, I've
Mhm.
not missed a single competition
Uh-huh.
every time this comes up. So I really, really enjoy doing it so much.
Uh-huh.
And because of the practice that I have had, it really helped me in doing what I am doing currently. So yeah.
Uh-huh. Wow. Okay. One last question. What's your favorite creative outlet apart from creating videos?
Creative outlet.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, what am I supposed to like
Something
creative
like
outlet when you say creative outlet?
something it could be like because of music, because like you play music or you dance or some art or whatever. It could be anything. A creative outlet.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay, basically, something that I can pick
Yeah.
from the entire creative process.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. So, can I say the most tiring one
Yeah,
first?
sure. Go ahead. It's your pick. It's your pick.
Yeah, so the most tiring one would be whenever I'm doing a conversational video, I have to like change
Um,
my outfits and the
yeah.
earrings and the
Yeah.
hairstyle and all of these things. So it is so tiring to do that. And I remember like मेरा bed पूरा कपड़ों से भर गया था for one video because I played 3 characters in just that
Wow.
video.
Uh,
So my God, and my mom is like कि मतलब मेरी साड़ीज मुझसे ज्यादा तू पहन रही है, and I'm like ठीक है. And the best part would be maybe just to see how all of that has been executed and merged into a single video. I think
uh,
just seeing कि वो कैसा बन के आया है. I mean, after the
um,
editor gives me the final video, I think that feels really fulfilling to see that okay, all the efforts for
mm,
right from picking a topic to scripting to delivering to changing all
mm.
those outfits and everything. So all of that has paid off by watching that video. I feel that. So I think that is the best part
And
when I
you're
see
listening.
it being
Yeah.
executed. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Love that. I love that. Perfect. I had a blast having you in the podcast. I'm glad you could come here today and you could spend time with us. And I'm sure the viewers also like they would have also got like some good insights from you. But yeah, thank you so much, Palak.
Thank you so much, Rakshit. I enjoyed doing this so much.
Mm.
And yeah, thank you for everyone's watching. I hope this was interesting enough for someone maybe who's just starting to create content or thinking to create content. So yeah,
Yeah.
thanks
Head to
again.
CreateX if you want to know.
That's like the best CTA ever, Rakshit.
Exactly. Perfect. And don't
Thank
forget to
you.
follow us and subscribe to our channel too, because you'll find
Yes,
such interesting content over here as well. Perfect.
definitely.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you so much. See you in the next podcast. Bye bye.